All right, guys. Well, before we get into the interview, I just want to introduce my guy right here, Rick Webb. You know, if you don't know him, you should know him. But Rick is not only a seasoned DJ, he's also a business owner, entrepreneur, and content creator. He's built a successful DJ company, and through his YouTube channel, he's really helped DJs from all over the world, sharing valuable tips, and he's even helped me, man. So shout out to my guy, Rick Webb. Bro, thank you so much for being here, man.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we finally got the chance. You know, we did it a little bit back at the Atlantic City conference.
Yeah, but that was mostly you just coming up to me at like both lighting and be like,
exactly.
yo, so what's new in the booth?
Right,
And I was like, all right, well, I got the spiel, man. I got everything. But
yeah. Well, bro, we finally got a chance to sit down here in Pittsburgh, of all places.
Yeah, and it's snowing right now.
And it's snowing like crazy. We're not used to this. I'm not used to this in Dallas, where I'm from.
Yeah.
But you said you grew up, what, like, how far away from
Hour and a half from here. So I used to come to Pittsburgh Pirates games and stuff as a kid. So, yeah, just right across the border in Ohio is Cambridge, Ohio. It's like 30 minutes from this border with Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
So, and then it's just like another hour to get over here to it's just a straight shot down the highway.
Oh, nice, bro.
So it was really simple to get over here, but yeah.
That kind of leads us into like our starting topic then, man. So, bro, how did you even get into, let's start with the DJing, but I really want to talk about the YouTube stuff too, bro. Because like your YouTube is right up there. Like you and DJ Bar were the two guys that I always watched when I was kind of first starting getting into like the mobile gig stuff. But tell us a bit, like how did the DJing stuff start, and then how did you transition to YouTube?
You know, they actually go a little hand in hand. It's a little bit of like one fed the other in a way. But the DJing really came, the best place to start is like cocky middle school kid back in the day, going to middle school dances, DJ sucks, they don't play our music. Transpired into high school, into like early high school, also doing that and being like, the DJ sucks at our like high school dances. And then my first job when I became 16 and was able to drive, actually I did it when I was 15, but I did catering for the largest catering company in our area. And like this catering company did 5 weddings on a Saturday.
Oh, snaps.
At the same time. My neighbor was in charge of the catering division, so I naturally got a job through her, and I'm a hustler, so I just really worked my way up the ranks real quick and was a manager. And I'm seeing every single weekend, I'm seeing a new DJ, a new wedding, and I'm looking at all these, he's like, you guys suck. Like that's where it really came from, was like, I can do this better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what started me down that. But even before that, like I was the guy in the gym for the football team that had the iPod with the playlist. I made sure we had the clean rips. I knew how it was techie, so I could get all the music for free for us and all the ways back in the day, LimeWire, that cool stuff. So that's kind of how the DJing started. Was just like, I think I can do it better than who I see currently doing it. And then my education though came mainly through YouTube as to how I became a DJ, like in terms of learning like how speakers, how cables. So I was watching people like Brian S. Red, Mikey Mike. I don't know if you.
I know Brian S. Red.
Brian S. Red's still making content. You got Mikey Mike. He was over on the West Coast. DJ Mikey Mike. He had a lot of content back in the day. These are like the two that kind of stick out in my head. You got God. There's some guys over in England too that were posting a lot. Eel Skin or something. Skin was the last. I can't remember. But I watched all these guys, and I was learning the content and everything from them. And as I like evolved, as I started DJing, I started doing some events. I learned through my experiences, and I kind of wanted to give back in a way, because like I was like, no, I saw what education-wise on YouTube. I'm a huge YouTuber. Like if you find me at home, I'm not on Netflix. I'm on YouTube. I'm just watching YouTube stuff, like documentaries and stuff like that. So it just naturally fed into me wanting to make videos about DJing and about equipment. And I'm a man of many things. Even to this day, I'm doing many things. But it was back in the day, while that catering DJing was also going on, I also was an amateur YouTuber filming trick shot videos with my brother in the backyard, throwing footballs and basketballs.
Like the Hey Dude stuff.
Yes, literally exactly. That's what we were mimicking. I did some tech reviews trying to copy Marcus Brownlee back in the day, and there was some other, the techno, it was like Techno Cat was my channel.
Oh, nice.
If you ever look up Bobcat Productions, those trick videos are still out there.
Are they?
Yeah.
We'll have to put a link to that.
I made like highlight videos too back in the day. So I was amateur filming random shit. I tried some Casey Neistat vlogging back in the day.
Okay.
And those are still active on the channel. If you go, there's a whole playlist of vlogs, and you go watch some of my early vlogs. And stuff.
Nice.
Just vlogging my life back in the day. But yeah, so the whole DJ side though came from wanting to give back, and two, the only videos that started to get traction were actually review videos. I like made a rock and roller cart review, and then my JBL Eon 615 review. I came back to YouTube like 3 months later, and those videos had like 3,000-4,000 views, and I was like, maybe I should make some more of those.
Right.
I have all this gear, and I just started making more of those, and that just spiraled one thing after another. And the 2015 was when I made that kind of analysis and was like, oh, DJ videos might work. Because I made like a vlog that was kind of like a gig log. I like filmed the thing. This is before gig log was really a term.
Right.
I can't remember if me or Bar coined it first, or even if we came up with it, but that's kind of how that all started. Was I filmed the vlog on my channel, and I happened to have some GoPro footage from the wedding that I did, and that was like the first ever one.
So it's like a natural. It wasn't anything you really like set out to be like, hey, I'm gonna film gig logs. It just kind of naturally progressed to get there.
No, it was I think I originally used to call them vlogs. I was like, wedding vlog 1, wedding vlog 2. And then I think the term gig log started to develop. That's funny to think nowadays, because literally if
there's so many gig logs.
If you use any like tagging softwares, it like recommends you put gig log in the tagging because it's such a good search term now.
Right. That's crazy, bro. So how many videos have you put out on your channel? Like
hundreds.
You couldn't even tell us. Like you don't even know.
I don't remember the stat. I just remember I looked at it the other day, and it was, I want to say it was like 300, and I was like, I really put out that many fucking videos?
That's crazy, bro.
I mean,
so you started that, right? And then, of course, you were DJing, but what kind of like took you from the middle school kid that did the parties for DJing to like, what were some of the like milestones that you hit on your way to like where you're at now?
Milestones,
like, or just like how did you grow it? You know, like what were some of the steps that maybe there's someone else watching this that is a middle school kid or a high school kid doing their high school parties, and they want to get to the status of like Rick Webb, right? How do they get there?
Well, I would recommend shortcuts that I know now. Like definitely like don't buy cheap gear, and join a multi-op is probably like one of the best intro ways to get yourself established off the get-go. I kind of did that. So my journey started as amateur bedroom DJ, learning how to DJ. I actually never learned anything with mixing originally. I didn't learn actually how to BPM mix or anything until 2016, 17. So that's when I actually learned how to even do all that. I was originally a virtual DJ with Virtual DJ Home, free version, and I had no controller. Like
so just on the computer.
Just on the computer. On the computer, mixing songs back and forth, pretty much fade mixing in a way. But really focused on crowd analyzation to understand psychologically like what Mike Tech in the room over is talking about. Cussed over there. But yeah, so that was like the first progression, and then after high school, when I went to college, I got picked up. I was already kind of mentoring / good friends with the owner of one of the bigger multi-ops that actually did it kind of legit. Like they were actually good. They weren't a shit DJ like most of the other ones. So I started working for him, and I instantly became the top DJ in their company, like really, really quick, like sending me more gigs than ever before. While I was in college, so it kind of helped me pay for college in a way. Then while in college, I got introduced into the bar scene, and that's when I picked up how to actually mix. So I mentored off of a couple of the DJs that were in the bar scene. A-Rock's actually one of them.
Oh, wow,
Yeah, in Athens, Ohio. So that's how I got a really good connection with A-Rock over there. But that's where I picked up, these guys actually had Serato and stuff, and they're showing me about these BPMs and DJ transitions and DJ edits and DJ pools, and I'm like, what's all this shit? This is like, holy crap, this is awesome stuff. So once I discovered that, I went all in, bought a freaking Pioneer SZ, and was just like off to the races, just learning and practicing like crazy in my apartment or whatever at college. And then during college, I learned a lot about business. I had some side business ventures during college, fixing phones and stuff like that.
Okay.
That was fun.
So you've always had that like entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes, I love business so much. Like it's an internal thing that I wish I could post more on YouTube but it just doesn't do well.
Right.
Sadly, right now, if you post anything business, because I have dabbled in some business-related videos, they just don't do well.
Yeah. I feel like too, because like, you know, you've built an audience on like DJing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, DJs, they just want to DJ, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't really see, like they're okay with just DJing every weekend, but not necessarily growing a business. You know, and there's a big difference between those two things, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure you can talk, because right now you got your multi-op, right? What's it called?
Fusion Sound
Lighting. Then we got Both Lighting USA.
Both Lighting USA.
And what else? And
then we have Greensboro Home Services Holiday Lights.
Bro,
Which
really,
really,
the third one.
It could be 4 if you count them, but I treat the entities together.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some guys in a van and a bunch of Christmas lights, and they go hang Christmas lights on people's houses during the Christmas season.
Okay.
Like this year, we just wrapped up the install, and we're a couple days into the teardown season right now, but we did, I think, 109 properties this year.
Bro.
That have Christmas lights up, both commercial. We have big people that we work with, Mack and Volvo Truck, Old Dominion Freight, and we got some corporations.
And you store the lights, like you own the lights?
Yeah. It's a leasing program.
Okay.
So we lease the lights out in a way to the client, but then the client never has to buy new lights again. We have a 24-hour maintenance guarantee, so during the season, if you have one bulb go out, you give us a call, we're there the next day within 24 hours to fix it.
Bro, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's a solid deal, and then during the off-season, that's the part we're trying to figure out what's going to be best for them to do. Last year, we started dabbling in gutter cleaning, pressure washing, and window cleaning. So this year, we're really trying to get that part developed. The holiday lights in this third season.
How do you have enough time to do all this stuff?
Conveniently, my seminar is on productivity.
Bro, I cannot wait to hear this, because I barely have enough time to run my multi-op, much less like, I can't imagine doing.
Well, I don't run them though. That's the problem.
Okay, we'll see. We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
I mean, one of the biggest hacks in all of my businesses is outsource, hire, train.
Gotcha.
Like that's why I was like, you have behind you. We have an amazing video filmer and editor behind it. I was like, dude, you have a filmer?
Yeah.
I don't even have a filmer. I'm like, I want a filmer.
Yeah.
I do have an editor though. That's like, that's actually how I was able to keep doing YouTube.
Nice.
I had a breaking point in 2018 when I graduated college. That was like, or actually it was during college. I was like, I can't keep up with this.
Right. I
can't keep up with this. So I gotta either drop YouTube or outsource it. So I found an editor. My guy lives up in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Never met him in person.
Well, because I know
he's awesome.
Your talk tomorrow is on productivity, right?
Yeah.
Give us your biggest productivity hack right now.
The biggest productivity hack, outsource, train, and hire. I would say this is not my phrase, but this is a really good phrase that I heard from, I can't remember what mentor, but everybody thinks they have a million things they have to do every day. They have to get it done every single day.
Right.
You don't have to, because out of those things you set out to do, probably 3 of those things, yes, those are your priority. You have to do those. 3 additional things are just going to happen. They're just going to happen. 3 other things, someone else will do for you at some point in time. And then 3 things are absolutely stupid, and there's no point that you should even be thinking about doing that. So really it's about productivity, and it's a lot of my conversation is about really looking at what you need to do and dissecting it and realizing what actually is the focus. There's a famous 80-20 rule. Have you ever heard that? It is so true down to the point, and it's 20% of your energy will generate 80% of the results. So the more you find what the 20% is and you do more of the 20%, the more you will get done down the line.
Bro, that's facts.
And, if you're a procrastinator, I am a big procrastinator.
Same. I'm guilty.
And so I coach like 3 or 4 DJs too on the side. And I'm hoping to do more.
What don't you do, bro?
I'm hoping to do more of that, but I don't do a lot, dude. I do a lot, but it's overwhelming to some degree. Most people I coach, and including my coach to me,
right?
You know exactly what you should be doing.
Right.
But you choose not to, or you choose to fill it with all this random bullshit, these little tiny tasks, emails, text, all these little things. If you just take that one thing you need to do, make it your all and your priority every single day. First thing, get it done first, then do the rest of the things. You will get so much further ahead.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what I've done. And my talk tomorrow is going to talk about my journey from a mental breaking point I had in 2022. It was right before I quit my full-time job and went full in on the business, but I had a very big mental breaking point in 2022, where from the exterior you'd think I had it all. I was the greatest ever. My YouTube was great, DJing was great, everything, but like mentally I was drained and I was miserable.
You know, you bring that up, bro, and I feel like that is such a because I feel that too, right? Like there's times where I'm like, dang, bro, like from the exterior, everyone sees, you know, the happy-go-lucky Rick Webb, like he's killing it on YouTube. But something inside of you is just like either I'm not good enough, or it's like just all this other stuff that's weighing on you, and it gets to a point where you're like, dude, bro, is this even worth it, right? Like, so what is your? Because I feel like productivity is such a good topic. Like,
it is.
What is your day? So do you write your stuff out? Like let's say, you know, going into Monday, the week, do you write out, hey, these are the 5 things I need to knock out? Are there any tools you use? Like I've heard of like the Motion app.
So, not a fan of Motion.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't tried Motion, but I think, so I'm going to be honest, I actually had this epiphany listening to one of the AI conversations over there, that I feel like if you look at all these AI tools, no matter what it's for, when it's like an auto texter or anything like that, if you're looking at it as a cheat to do something that you're not already doing, you're looking at it wrong. AI should be used to take workload off of you that you're already doing. But to try and implement AI and you're not already doing that thing, you're gonna fail.
Right.
Because
you're adding more work.
And also, you don't even know what it's doing.
Right.
But like I had that epiphany because like I hear all these new AI tools and stuff like coming out. We don't use any AI tools in our business on the front end.
Right.
We use ChatGPT. We have Opus Clip doing some stuff on the back end. We dabble in it, but I'm aware of it. But yes, so, and I will be going through these tomorrow, but you ever heard of time boxing?
No. Well, I think
you probably seen
I think I've heard a little bit about it. But
so I do use one tool. It's called TickTick. It's just a task organization software, and my whole workshop's going to be on TickTick. Okay. So it's basically, and this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. They don't even have an affiliate program, but Marquez Brownlee mentioned it in one of his videos that uses TickTick, and he's not even affiliated for it. But basically, you can create bins of categories for all your things in life.
Okay.
And then inside of those, you can create individual tasks. There's also a Kanban system. So like my house projects, you can set up different bins for these. Like I have a whole YouTube one here, YouTube DJ. So I can have general tasks in here. I can have video ideas, my next videos ready to post, my podcast episodes. This is cool. You can set reoccurring tasks. So this populates every single Monday. I even went as far as I have a whole life category where like I have a birthday section, everybody's birthday's in there. You can set priority for the task.
Nice.
I have like change the air filters that my house populates for me so I don't forget about those tasks and stuff like that. But outside of like, that software is cool and I like it, but I have a daily list that I make, and it's one of the most powerful things I think that actually keeps me super productive.
And do you write this out, or do you put in your phone?
So I'm a big proponent, start on paper. Okay. And I can send you the link to put in the video, but there's a time box sheet I use that's on Amazon. It's like literally one of those where there's a sheet, you can rip it off every day. But basically it's laid out in a way that you have a brain dump section, which basically is you dump down, and you're supposed to do this the night before. Okay. So the night before, you're supposed to plan your day ahead. So you wake up and you get to work immediately as to what you need to do. So you dump out everything you think you need to get done tomorrow, no matter what it is. Then you look at everything and you're going to pull out your 1 to 3 top priorities. Okay. Then on the right is a timeline of the day. And you fill in your meetings that you can't, meetings are meetings, you have to have meetings there, any appointments, you put those in there. You fill in any life items you want, like you want to block off dinner, block off lunch. Then you take those top priorities and you put in there, you block off your time for those top priorities first thing in the morning. And then all the other stuff, you try to fill it in accordingly. And then what you'll realize is that probably half the time, some of the stuff you're not going to get to it. You're trying to put too much on your plate already. So you learn as you do them more and more what you can actually achieve and how long things take. It makes you mentally a lot clearer with your productivity.
And it helps you prioritize, I would assume, too, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's why you pull out your top priorities every single time.
Bro, that's a great tip.
A lot of other educators call it like eating the frog. They tell you pull out that one thing and eat the frog. Okay. Eat that one frog. I never really liked that term, but there's that. But there is a whole, and I'm going to go into it. There's a further depth to it, but where you like tie in, you start from like a yearly perspective. What are your yearly goals? Break that down into 90-day goals with strategies and KPIs. And those strategies are what you're supposed to be implementing on a weekly basis, and those are normally your top priorities.
Nice. Bro, like you.
And I didn't learn this all on my own.
Right.
Like when I quit my day job, I hired a business coach. Highly recommend anyone listening. They're going to cost quite a bit. They are worth every penny.
Yeah.
I personally got one guy that I actually did weekly coaching with. And this kid is fucking killing it up in Massachusetts, just north of here.
Is he a DJ or just?
Yeah,
okay.
I think he's 23. He's a DJ, and he didn't think he wanted a multi-op. He's like he's like his music career is his biggest thing. And he came to me, and he's a huge sales guy. Like he's like, I could sell flies on the wall. He came to me and he's like, dude, I got all these gigs booked and everything, but I have no equipment. I have no clue how the fuck I'm actually gonna pull off these weddings. And I was like, you are honestly, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let me help you.
Right.
He came to me being a tech guy,
dope.
just to find that I'm also a business person.
Right.
So we took his business and he did 6 figures in the first year, and he's on track to do like almost 300,000 this year.
Bro,
he hired on 3 DJs and trained them up from the ground, and I was like, dude, you're fucking killing it.
Bro, that's dope, man. You know, which kind of leads me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, which is you actually have it on your shirt right here, is Both Lighting USA, bro. Because I feel like I heard about Both Lighting years, like not USA, but the regular Both Lighting. You know,
Same.
years ago, right? But here recently, and probably within the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, I'm like, I see y'all everywhere, bro. Every time I open up Facebook, Both Lighting USA ad. Every time I open up Instagram, both. Bro, so how did that even come to be? Like, were you doing reviews on their products and then they approached you about a partner? Like, how did that happen?
It's one of the most humbling, and it's actually, I blow people. So we have no contract with Both Lighting. There is no contract. It's all your word, my word relationship, and I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a huge, like, your word means more than a contract, in my opinion. So this is 2019. I went on a tour of Joe Bunn's headquarters. It was my first full year in North Carolina. Went over to Raleigh, you know.
I saw that YouTube video.
Me and Joe were friends at the time and everything, and he showed me all of his S4s, uplights he had in there and everything. I was like, dude, these are nice. I had ADJ elements at the time that cost like $400 a piece and everything. Right. He's like, dude, these are like less than $100 a piece. I was like, you're shitting me. I'm like, these? He's like, yeah, dude, they're awesome and everything. And he was going through with me, like showing it, and I was like, dude, these are freaking awesome. I'm gonna buy some. He's like, the only thing is, it's a little sketchy. I'll send you a direct, I'll hook you up with my girl over in China, and we'll start a little WhatsApp. I was like, okay, whatever, cool, all right. So I ordered 3 cases of lights, because I was like, I'm sold. Right. Send me 3 cases of lights. Ordered those 3 cases of lights. I think I used PayPal because I paid extra to use PayPal, because she was like, you can wire the money, or you can go this route, or PayPal. It's like an extra $50 fee. I'm like, we'll just go PayPal. We'll just do that.
Yeah, the safe route.
We'll just do that. I'm not 100% sold on the safety here. So I got the lights right before COVID, and then I just started using them. I never made a product review, anything. Just started using them in the gig logs and stuff out of COVID, because the whole COVID, everything shifted.
Right.
So I just started using the uplights, going through COVID, and I think it was either late 2020 or 2021, whenever the S4 review video came out. This is just the most coincidental thing in the world. I set out to make a review video on the Both Lighting uplights because I really liked them. No affiliate, no nothing, and involved with them. I just wanted to do what Joe did to me.
Right.
Recommend this amazing product, great deal. And I'm in the editing phase, and out of the blue, it must have been around New Year's then, because she normally is like, she sends my rep sends New Year's things to all of her past clients for the year. She's really good on that. And she just sends me a thing that's like, yo, Rick, so we've been getting a lot of people throwing out your name that are coming to us, because in the comments I'm like saying these are the Both Lighting, or in the video I'm saying these are the Both Lighting uplights. They're coming to us for the Both Lighting and everything. We'd love to give you an affiliate commission of, I think it was $2 per light that anybody buys, or you could become a dealer in America. We don't have anybody that actually like sells for us in America because they have a deal with. They had someone in Europe at the time that was doing it, and I was like, let me think about that.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
cha-ching, cha-ching.
I was like, I'll try out the dealer model because your $2 a light doesn't sound like much at all. It might have been less than that, to be honest. It's a super low commission rate compared to some of the other ones out there. But yeah, so I was like, shit, let me try it out. So I was like, how does this work and everything? And so it started with just being emails.
Okay.
And all it was I basically, in that video, I edited in a short thing that says, I'm now an official dealer for both lighting. If you need anything, hit up my email down below. And I treat it like a wedding business.
Right.
You contact me with what you need. I send you an invoice. You pay the invoice. I go over to my rep, send her an email, and you get the product.
Right.
And that's kind of how it all started. Was I just literally was, send me an email if you need lights.
Yeah, exactly. And then it grew to you, because I think what you told me earlier was like the website is what just kind of like blew this whole thing up.
So my coach was was a big proponent of that, because I kind of wanted to keep it under wraps, like the pricing and everything.
Right.
I wanted to be just like, the homie, like here's your price, whatever.
Right.
When I started working with my business coach in 2022, and I showed her the numbers, and she's like, "You're doing that, and you don't have a fucking website?" And I'm like, no, why? And I like told her all my concerns, and she's like, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all in your head. Like that's all self-doubting beliefs is what she calls them, self-doubting beliefs. And that's another good thing on productivity is to get over your self-doubting beliefs, because anything you think you can't do or why you can't do something is all just bullshit.
Yeah. That imposter syndrome.
Yeah. So she looked at everything, and she's a big proponent of teaching me a lot more about numbers at the time, and I'm a huge numbers head, so she just told me the formulas in a way. It's like going to algebra class.
Right.
Once you learn the formulas, now you know how to do trigonometry. Like it was so revolutionary for business in my eyes. But no, she told us, she was like, no, you need to launch a website. You need to hire Marcellus full-time to run that side of the company so you can focus on other things. And I'm sitting there like, I'm going full-time. I barely have enough money right now, not to mention I'm dropping my 6-figure engineering salary and relying on this money. I'm like, you want me to reinvest more money into marketing and hire people? And she's like, trust the process, Rick. It will work. And
that was some of the best advice you could have gotten.
The phrase she used with me is a salary, or is it a person? A person's salary is costing you a fortune.
Ooh.
In terms of not paying a person's salary is costing you a fortune. Because if you paid someone a salary, exactly.
Yeah.
You freeze up your time to focus on bigger and expansion. And one of the things, if you don't have someone in your company that's sitting above everything that's going on and is not in the day-to-day that can actually see and focus on the future, you're gonna stay right where you're at. You'll flatline.
I needed to hear that, Rick. I'm serious, bro. That just like, and you're so right, because there is some fear though. Mm-hmm. Like you just said, like, man, I feel like I'm barely making any money. Then you want me to hire a whole other person, right? But you're a living testament to say, like, that works.
It works. And I'm not the only one. I mean, like, it's pretty much anyone in business that you would meet would probably tell you that hiring and outsourcing it is expensive at first, and yes, it will cost you money at first, but once you get that person to a point, you have to have so the way she taught me is like, all right, to ease your concern, we're gonna lay out a roadmap for Marcellus as to how at what point he's generating enough money that he covers his salary. So if I hire, say for instance, in a DJ company, if I hired an operations manager, I need that operations manager to generate an extra X amount of revenue or X bookings to make her position work.
Right.
And that's how you have to treat it, and you have to set forth those goals for that employee to get to that point. Because otherwise you're gonna have a review point and be like, you're not hitting it and we gotta fire you or we gotta let you go. And unfortunately I've already had to do that through my business at this point. But
we could spend a whole day like talk, because like there's so many
business has so many layers, and it's such a fun topic. I love it.
It's like a game, like I feel like it's like someone was asking me, like the same with like Instagram or just social media in general. to me at this point now, it's a game to see how big I can grow it. You know, it's like once you kind of kick that door down and you kind of start seeing some of that progress, it's addicting. You know, like, damn, I can't believe I did that. I'll never think I'll make 6 figures doing this. And then you make it and you're like, well, now can I make $1 million? You know, like.
So someone gave me an analogy is like, it's exactly like trying to become a professional athlete. There are levels to your athletic career, and there's different skill sets and different knowledge and things you need to learn at every step of the way. Like, you're in middle school just learning how to play the game. In high school, you're learning how to perfect the game. In college, you're learning how to sell yourself to get to the NBA. Like, there's levels to everything, and you have to transition, or you go to pro league, and then you actually have to negotiate contracts. So there's different things that are involved. Right. And it is so true in business. I can tell you from experience, most people, the point at which they're looking at a second employee, it's like the first hurdle is around that $100,000 to $300,000 revenue mark. Is when you're like, I can't, like, you flatline. You'll flatline down, or that's what it is. There's stepping stones. You'll flatline at this point. The next one comes at about 800,000, and then after that, right around 2-3 million. And then I've been told past that there's another one around 7. There's one at 15, and then there's one at like 20. Like there's
right.
Yeah, but everything has flat lines to everything. And coaches are so powerful because they've taken clients through those journeys.
You're gonna have to send me your coach's info, bro. If she's taking new clients.
Yeah, maybe she's on the older side. She's trying to get out of it to some degree, but it's in a franchise. So if anybody's wondering, my coaching is part of a franchise. It's called Action Coach.
Okay.
And there's coaches all across America, all across the world. They all teach the same principles. Some are better than others, but one of the coolest things they implemented last year is there's a ranking system. They rolled out a ranking system for all their coaches.
So you can see.
My coach is currently number 2 in America and number 6 in the world.
Oh, snaps, bro. So
she's older.
Yeah,
but
she must know her stuff.
Yeah, I lucked out heavily with that. And yeah.
That's dope, bro. I mean, you've shared a bunch of like crazy nuggets. I mean, just in this short time. And we got to get back for the talk in a second. But before we get out of here, give us your top 3 things that you wish young Rick Webb would have known that he knows now that have got him to this point.
Young Rick Webb, if you're not going for an engineering and doctorate degree or anything like that, college is useless at this point in time until they restructure that shit. I wish I would have pushed harder with my parents that I wanted to just pursue DJing.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the experience because, college, I gained a lot of experience, gained some friends, everything. I would be probably 2 times further along right now if I would have just went full balls to the wall in business at the get-go. Wish I would have known that. But, that's one of those things. If I had a mini Rick, I would have told him that.
Yeah.
But knowing what I would not go back and change that in my personal life. But if I was teaching someone else, I would tell them, don't fucking do it. Just jump in, go all balls to the wall of your business, and tell your boomer parents that it doesn't matter. You know what you're going to do. And tell them Rick told you. Number 2, marketing is the most important piece of your business. Yep. If you are not marketing, you are not growing. If you are not marketing is so market before you buy gear. I was not like this, but like in general, marketing is so powerful. And now that I've learned, you can launch any business with marketing.
Yeah.
Especially a business that has like delayed gratification with the product or the service. Like for instance, the Holiday Light business is like the best case example for our launch of that. We didn't have any Christmas lights at all. I launched the business purely on marketing from pictures I could find online, and we put ads together. We just dumped like $13,000 into marketing between website, ads, everything, just dumped it straight into marketing. And then we collected 50% down deposits on everything and then went and bought all the lights with those 50% deposits and then went and did the jobs.
Crazy,
and we did 6 figures in our first year.
That's dope.
6 figures in 3 months. Marketing is so powerful. Like in general, I give you props too because you're on the YouTube, on the content game. You gotta be on it. Like YouTube content, social media, marketing is so important, especially in today's day and age with all the platforms. Oh, number 3, get a coach. Everybody needs a coach in any point in their life, even in health. Like if you want to get healthy, you want to get in shape. That's what trainers are for. And everybody doesn't do it because they cost so much.
Right.
They cost that much because they work.
Yep. Because it's worth it.
Their accountability.
Yeah.
In some ways, they're therapy. I literally consider I don't go to therapy or anything, but I think my coach has literally been my therapist.
Yeah.
About half the time she's been my coach.
Yeah. For sure, man. Well, bro, thank you so much for taking some time, man. I'm glad we finally got to sit down and do like an official, sit down, bro. We'll have to get together some more the rest of the week. But yeah, bro, keep killing it, man. You're an inspiration in the industry.
You too, man.
You're doing some great things, man. So,
absolutely.
Rick, appreciate it, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely.
Right here.